Business Volunteers is doing good better.
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 I actually think doing good better is a great catchline. Sorry, I love it.
Tell us why you think it is such a great
Because it's grammatically jarring.
Gosh, it's so really incredible to think that it's been 10 years since we started Business Volunteers. It started as an idea in 2002, and we really recognized a pretty significant need in the community.
One of the early things was the creation of a board, and I remember having conversations with Kelly about who might be the board chair, and we both centered in on Jim Brinkley, and that turned out to be exactly the right decision.
I was ready to join the board, but then they had some other thoughts in mind too, and persuaded me to also become the first chairperson.
We have thousands of nonprofits in Central Maryland who are looking for professional and volunteer time and talent to really support the work that they do.
We wouldn't be able to do what we do if we don't have people who are engaged in their local communities, helping us. It's really essential, and it's the gasoline that allows the engine to run.
All the board members and Kelly and her staff all believed that what we were doing was important and we would be successful. The only question was how soon and how much success would we be able to create for the community.
On one side, you sort of have this tremendous need in the nonprofit community. And then on the other side, we found that there were so many companies that wanted to do good, wanted to give back, wanted to get their people involved, wanted to be more strategic about how they engaged, but didn't always know how. It wasn't part of their main business.
The best people want to work for a corporation who cares about their clients, their employees, and the community they work in.
You can start by thinking about Laureate, like other organizations, having great intentions of giving to the community and making an impact. But I have to tell you, I've been in business a long time, and that intention of being able to do a good job and give back and actually doing it is something that's very difficult to do. And you need help. And that's where Business Volunteers comes into play. We started off doing three things. We helped advise and consulted companies on developing a community involvement strategy and employee volunteerism programs. We helped companies do volunteer days of service. And then one of our most important new programs was the board leadership program.
I think that the experience that I had with Business Volunteers back in 2003 helped to give me, good footing for the many things that I'm involved with today in the community, not only with Transamerica Foundation, but other boards that I'm involved in.
All the folks that have been referred to us, everyone that I have met in person has proceeded to join our board and has continued on. That's a real testament to that matching ability that BV staff have.
And what I saw with Business Volunteers was, here you had a way to really impact, where you could help the organization become more effective, more efficient, more accountable, and more responsible. And so I was hooked. For my time, it's the most important thing I can do in the community.
And then you had all these incredible individuals who were working in the community but wanted to get a stronger connection to the community, really sort of find meaning and figure out where to volunteer, but they didn't know where to start.
And I think that the generation which is now recently out of school and maybe under 35, they get it. They know what it is to have a community conscience, probably leading their organizations. Getting them to lead their bosses has been a really remarkable thing.
I think that the GIVE program and my volunteering experiences have really made me the person that I am today.
It's very rewarding for me personally to see so many young people get involved in the community, and it also enhances their leadership skills, their professional abilities, and develops future leaders, not only for the community, but for Legg Mason.
You'll learn a lot. You'll grow professionally in your civic leadership. If something's missing in your life, I would dare you to try this out and see what comes of it. I promise you, you won't be disappointed.
Business Volunteers is doing something that didn't exist here in this town when it got started 10 years ago.
Business Volunteers is good for a business and its people because it's the right thing to do.
I did the best I could to set an example for an organization that I really believe was going to make a major difference in this community.
It just comes back to, I really want to do something in this community, I just don't know how. And whether you're an individual or whether you're a business, Business Volunteers can really help you accomplish that goal.
Wow, 10 years later, we've matched over 600 people, professionals with boards of area nonprofits.
The next 10 years, we're just going to do good, but we're going to do it better.
Over 150,000 individuals have been connected to meaningful volunteer opportunities, and I have to think that to a large extent they wouldn't have found those connections without us. We've helped infuse more than $20 million of time and talent into the Central Maryland community. Those board members and volunteers are touching hundreds and thousands and millions of different people. It's changing lives and it's strengthening the community.
Business Volunteers is doing good better.